the characters. And will we see more new metallic version? That is the question. But here's a real question for you. How do you think Sega would react to this? Now, I know from what I've read, every story, doesn't matter if it's from the main comic or from a spin-off, every story has to be, despite what people say, has to pass Sega's approval. Now, what do you think Sega is thinking right now after passing this approval for this first part of the Silver Saga? They're reading the issue, and the person that passes the approval looks in the last issue and sees the main characters like Silver and not Silver, but characters like Sonic and Shadow and even Amy, who are the main game characters, the main video game characters. How do you think they feel seeing Sonic, Shadow, Amy, Eggman, Tails, all hanging there, eyes blank and everything, no souls? How do you think they're reacting to that? How do you think they're reacting to that? Probably not happy. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people at Archie Comics, along with Ian Flynn, have assured them that everything's going to be okay. But I'm pretty sure that's an image they did not want to see. Now, unless they show the drawings as well, that's a different story. But here's the thing: how would you react to that if you were in charge at Sega? You were the one that said, "Okay, I've read the script, I've read the draft. That's cool. Go for it." And all of a sudden, you read the issue, and you're looking at the last page, and you're like, "What the hell?" You know, what is your thought? Do you think, honestly, Ian is pushing the envelope here? I mean, I know that, the Sonic comic book, which I talked about in a video, many videos down, if you will, where I talked about the comic code, about Archie Comics dropping the comic code. Now, I can understand that they could probably be more lenient. They can be a little bit more edgy with the comics. Archie Comics has even come out and said that one of the comics they'll be bringing out is probably going to be rated T. So I can understand if they want to be a little bit more darker and edgier with the Sonic comics. But again, do you think maybe this last panel, if anybody at Sega probably sees this, do you think maybe they're probably thinking that, well, one, there's nothing we can do, and, well, two, we've been reassured that everything's going to be okay. But do you think they're probably not saying to themselves, this writer has gone too far, this writer and whoever draws this artwork has gone too far? Do you think they're probably thinking that right now? I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm not saying they are, and I'm not saying they aren't. But I'm just saying, do you think maybe they feel this might be going a little too far? I mean, okay, it's one thing if you have a wall of soulless victims or prisoners, and those victims and prisoners were characters like, and I hate to say this, like Sally, like Bunny, like Snively, like Bill Platypus, if you will, like Linda and all that. But what would be going through your mind seeing, like I said, your main video game character heroes, like Sonic, Shadow, Amy, and Tails, hanging on that wall as victims? How do you think? How would you react? I mean, even if, like I said, you were reassured by someone like Ian Flynn that everything's going to be okay, how would you feel? How would you react? You probably wouldn't be happy. Even though you might say to yourself, well, we've been assured everything's going to be okay, but you wouldn't like that panel. I mean, you'd probably be okay if the panel had, like I said, that last panel, that last page in the comic, had characters like Sally, Bunny, Rotor, Linda, Snively, Bill Platypus, you'd probably be happy if it was them along with some other non-game characters. But if you add the game characters to that, it's like, you're pushing the envelope. Even though you've probably told the people, even though the writer has told you everything's going to be okay. But again, do you think maybe it's pushing the envelope? I mean, I can't judge if it is or not. I mean, I can understand it's a comic. We've seen this kind of stuff before, but, is it pushing the envelope? Is Ian doing this? Is he pushing the envelope? I mean, we've had fans come out on Ian's own forum, the BumbleKing.com forums, the BumbleKing.com/forums at this side of Mobius section, and they there, along at these message boards and forums at Sonic Stadium, at Sega.com, and probably even the Knothole Village, we have had many fans come out and say that Ian has somehow, not entirely, but somehow brought his Other M webcomic finally into the comics continuity, or at least into one of the spin-offs. He's finally done it. That's what a lot of people are saying, that he's finally found a way to sneak elements of his Other M webcomic into the comics. So again, do you think honestly? So again, here's the question: do you think honestly he's pushing the envelope with that by writing in that last image, even though he's assured the people at Sega that everything's gonna be okay? And do you think honestly he has inserted some elements from his Other M comic? You see, that is the question here on this audio version of the Sonic Comic News. Do you think that's happened? I mean, because like I said, 225 is supposed to coincide with the final issue of the Silver Saga. We don't know how exactly that's going to happen. Now, many people are speculating as to what this whole Genesis story is going to be like. Are we going to see time travel? That's a good question. We don't know. Nobody really knows. But the thing is, all I know is this is going to be a very interesting summer when it comes to the comic books. That's all I can say. And again, as far as this first issue of Sonic Universe, the 25th anniversary issue, I can understand that they can push the envelope now a little bit without the comic codes always holding them back. But the question is, do you think they might have gone a little too far with that last image? Because again, if I'm someone at Sega and I've approved the story, but I've yet to see any artwork, and I see, like I say, my main game characters hanging there with blank eyes and without souls in their bodies. Again, the question is it going too far and is it pushing the envelope? That's the main question. So, that's all I'm going to ask. I thank you all for listening in on the audio version of the Sonic Comic News Episode 1. I'm sorry if this was in 2 parts, maybe 3. I just wanted to make it a little bit more easier, so you just have to listen to it, sit, or have another option anyway. But again, tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think of what I said here. Comment down below, and comment on the video version as well. Just let me know. Because again, has Ian pushed the envelope? Is he implementing some elements from the webcomic of Other M? Let me know what you think. So, that's all I'm going to say. Talk to you next time. Have a good day. God bless.